Welcome back YouTube. Here we go with phase 2. I've got these cool little orange board supports from ITS. I think they're about £25, £35 to use all with postage. And yeah, let's get into this. So I'm rolling out some 100mm rock wool, I think it was. I can't think if it's rock wool now or loft wool. Anyway, 100mm insulation. And I need a few more board pickups. The bigger the board pickups, the better. And I'm just working out my board sizes, and then I'm going round and I'm striking where my joists are that I need to screw up to. The electricians have clipped their cables up nice and high. I'm just going to make sure that they're under my insulation, as you'll see in a little while. The rock wool goes up high and I keep the cables down low so that when the sparkies come to drill their holes, they can fish them straight out. So the easiest way I find insulating, guys, is pick the floor that you're not too fussed about scratching, because nicely you are holding a knife and you are scoring on the floor. So this shed floor I know is getting covered, so I lay my tape out, I'm looking up, I'm roughly guessing what sizes I want to, and it's just the length that I guess. The widths are already pre-cut for you. And yeah, the Makita radio is a very handy hop-up in certain situations, but yeah, don't be trying this at home, guys. If I slip and break my ankle, then you know that's on me, on my own boss. Don't encourage stuff like this. Right then, boys and girls, my biggest tip, you see what I'm doing here? I tuck the edges in. Make sure those edges are tucked. You don't want any unneat edges hanging low. That is how you trap insulation between the board, and that is how you end up with lumpy ceilings, basically, or yeah, bumps in your ceiling, basically. So yeah, that is my biggest tip and advice. Make sure you tuck all your edges up. Start one end, work your way along and sort of like iron out all the creases and push it in. You don't really want it up high, all the way up high. You obviously want it to breathe. You still want your airflow, but at the end of the day, it's going to end up falling and settling and sitting on the ceiling. So like, if you do have to tuck it up high for now, know that probably when it settles, it will end up laying on the ceiling and it'll all end up flat and lovely anyway. So I wouldn't stress about it. But if pushing it up high for the moment gets it up and out your way, so be it. And then any little offcuts, as I get to the end of my reels, I tend to just pick an awkward shape or awkward little pocket that I need to fill, and off I go, and I just fill all the awkward bits as I go, keeping the floor clean, things out of my way so that I'm not tripping, and yeah, just knocking down goals as I go. I cannot tell you how hot it was this day, guys, and this big idiot has decided to insulate and board, and tomorrow he plasters this room. I think it was like the start of the heat wave. I think it was like between 27 and 31 during the day. Right then, guys, so there's no right or wrong, well obviously there's a wrong way, but there's many ways you can do this, and my preferred way is to mark top and bottom and then join the little marks together and score with your laser level, with your level or some sort of straight edge. So I just line this up, do the score, snap it off, same down the edge, down the long side. Now here you can see while it's on the pallet it's rather awkward, so actually I tell a lie, I decided to scribe it or score it. I don't know what you call that now, but that's the little trick where you hold your tape at one side off the knife up to the little tongue of the tape and then go for it. And this little rasp thing here is called a rasp, funny enough, and well, at least that's what I've been told it's called. And yeah, it just cleans your board edges up where you've got like lumpy bits of chalk hanging out your board. It just neatens it all up, makes it all go together nice, and the plasterer will thank you for it later. You see this little batten here, yeah? Right, yeah, you see that? Yeah? If you know what that's for, you don't need to be watching my videos. And if you want to find out what that's for, stay tuned. Right then, so that little red bit of batten that I've put up there, you're about to find out what that's for. Look at the state of me. You can tell that I go to the gym a lot, and you can also tell that my favourite machine is the vending. I need to get back on my diet, guys. So that little red button, that is going to save your bacon when you put your first sheet up, or when you're starting against the wall. Basically, just use the wall and the fact that you can put a bit of batten there to your advantage, and that will make life so much easier for you guys. Now you can do that with concrete walls. Stud walls is obviously far easier because your screws will go in. And yeah, another thing that will really help you if you're doing a house reno is buying one of these collated screw guns. This was 260 quid. I tell you how good it is. I don't even own anything from DeWalt other than my Hoover and this collated screw gun. But yeah, basically I decided I was going to do a lot of plasterboarding at one point in my life, and I thought, you know what, I'll probably deserve a collated screw gun. So spoke to some people, and obviously Hilti is the best, but people like me and you guys that probably do this once in a blue moon, we don't warrant £1,500 on some Hilti gun. So this for 260 odd quid, maybe 280 including VAT. This is what you guys need. Highly recommended. It will save your bacon. And you can detach it and use it on its own, but I just get my impact out, put a PH2 in, yeah, PH2 in, not PZ2, and off we go. There we go then, that's that one finished. So I'll move this red button over here, and I can tell you guys, honestly, if you can do this, do it. Because as much as it might be you and your missus doing this, without that little red button, this is a serious relationship tester. If you and her fall out while you're up there trying to screw this board up and she lets go, you're going to get slapped by plasterboard weighing 25 kilos, snapping above your head, wrapping left and right, front and back, and you'll know about it. So we'll measure this next board, write it on the wall so I don't forget, and we go off and we cut it. So now this is our final board going in on our run, because we've only got two boards left and right, or front and back, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, this is where you'll find out how square your room is and like how well things finish and all of that. So a good tip is, yeah, if you know where you want to start and you've worked it out, and you always go 90 degrees to the joists. So that basically means if the joists are going this way, I need to go this way. And yeah, it's what you can do is I would come out 1210 millimeters. So basically, if your board is 1200 mil, 1.2 meters, I'm saying allow 10 millimeters, because you always do your ceiling before your walls. If you've got an empty room, obviously if you're pulling down a ceiling and the ceiling's just going back up and you're not touching the walls, then keep it as tight as you can. But if this is a fresh room and it's a big open ceiling, mark 1.2 meters and 10 millimeters, so 1210 mil, both ends. Ping a chalk line, so that gives you a really long straight line, and then line all of your boards up to that line, and then you know that you've got a straight run, and then it's the building that's out if there's any discrepancies. So then guys, last little bit, nice little simple thing to measure this and hold up by yourself. You can probably hold it with one hand, but same again, mark top and bottom, score it with your level, score the top away, clean up your edges, nice tight fit. Oh, beautiful. Fun little fact for you guys while you're still here. How many screws does one full-size sheet need? I'll tell you. I can't say exactly it's 24, but I think it's 24 or 32, somewhere in the region of that, and it's basically a full strip of collated screws, is what I was taught. I cannot remember the exact number, but basically one strip of collated screws should be the average amount, or it's a good guide for how many screws you need to put in. Basically, if you can tap your board and it sounds hollow, or you can hear it banging against something, then you probably need to put more screws in. But here we go, let's get this last little wall down. Now, it's not recommended that you do things in bits, however, if that's all you've got, that's all you've got. I definitely wouldn't go much smaller than what I'm doing here. You're just, you know, the more joints you've got, the more prone for cracks and movement you've got. The bigger the sheets, the less likely to crack or move. But here I am showing you that it still can be done. Just do your absolute best to stagger your joints and yeah, enjoy. I'll play some music. Right then guys, check this out. So tile batten, roofing batten, whatever you want to call this, fits perfectly in this 3x2 stud work with a 12mm bit of OSB in between. So some people will ply line the entire wall, one for strength, because the engineers might say that this needs to be a load bearing wall, and you might ply line it so that it's load bearing, or it's part of the structure, they would say. And some people will just ply line it anyway. But if you can't, because you need to keep your walls a certain size because you don't want wider door linings or it's going to intrude on something and mess up the plans in the kitchen, then what you can do is do these infills that I call pattress boards, where basically, yeah, if you know you've got a TV on the wall or a radiator on the wall in a certain place, you only need to really fill that point and just make it big enough really for mounting the TV bracket. You don't need to go and fill the whole area the size of the TV, but obviously you do you, and you do it however you want. As long as you achieve the goal you're looking to achieve, the rest is history. So some of you might be thinking, how do you do these sockets so well? And I'll tell you, put that on the wall, get it in place, lift it up high and give it a little bang, and you'll see that it makes an imprint on the back of the plasterboard. Cut that out and you're golden. But I will warn you guys, you have to smack it fairly hard, but you need to be confident that you're smacking it in the right area and not in the wrong area, and you're not about to snap the board. So it's a bit of a risky one, but once you get the hang of it, you guys will be golden. And that is the neatest and easiest way to cut out plasterboard boxes. Right guys, I'm knackered. I'm proper cream crackered. Nearly got it all done. We've got that little patch over there in the corner, and we've got these two little bits here, but I've got the I've got the bulk of it done. I am dehydrated to another level. I'm going home for a cold shower and to rehydrate. It is, oh, I can't show you that, can I? 5 to 6. I'm tapping out. It is now almost 20 past 6. Say hey to Amy, lock screen. 20 past 6, I've just got home, I've just unloaded the van. Now going back to the same job in the village. Load up the van with what's left to take back to Travis. To what I call my bonus. What I return, what I don't use. Let's go.